Hello, everyone.
Caleb, welcome back.
Thanks, Jason.
Yeah, man.
All right.
So, Daniel, what do you think about these riots, man?
Pure anarchy, dude, in the streets.
It's like me and Caleb before we were talking about it, and you were just kind of sitting there. So I thought I'd ask you what the fuck you thought.
I'll give you a definition of anarchy, is what's happening.
100% anarchy in the streets.
Trump said it.
So it must be true.
Fox said it. CNN said it. MSNBC said it. So it's
Some
true,
random
right?
guy in the store the other day said it.
Yeah.
Probably referencing a mask of some sort.
I don't know. He's big into QAnon, and
Oh, yeah.
it's hard to talk to that gentleman.
Yeah.
So, tell us about what's been going on in Kenosha, Jason.
So,
Is that how you pronounce it?
I guess so. Kenosha, Wisconsin. So I think the Jacob Blake guy was the name of the guy that got shot in the back, right?
Like 7 times, I
Yes,
believe.
that was reaching into the van or whatever.
This is different?
This is what started
Yeah.
all of the trouble in Kenosha. This was the...
Why people are rioting.
So, yeah, so with Jacob Blake, apparently, somehow the police were called.
Okay, so I do know why the police were called. I've actually heard the 911 operator call.
Well, then you tell that. then.
So the police were called, and they got a call that Jacob Blake had taken the keys of a woman and was refusing to give them back. So the police were called directly to come into contact with him. They knew him. He was named in the 911 call, and he had just stolen a lady's keys. I think there wasn't any detail about who the lady was. I think it was probably someone he knew. They were in maybe it was a domestic dispute, and he took her keys or something like that. I don't know the details of that, but he took the keys. The cops showed up and were trying to talk to him, and he was backing away and not listening, and then he turned around and walked away to his van.
Are you sure that that's all that happened? Because I've heard, reports that he was resisting them for, 10 minutes.
Okay, possibly, yeah.
They tried to tase him and it didn't work.
See, I don't remember. I just
These
know
are
that he
important
was
things, fellas.
He was not I was kind of like you know nothing, so shut up.
And
That's why,
also,
that's why
we've
I'm
told people not to listen. If they don't
Yeah.
want disinformation, don't come here.
Yeah. But I was kind of keeping it short in the sense of he was not following their orders. He was not doing what they were telling him to do when they had a legitimate reason to be there. And then he turned around, started to walk towards the van, opened the door, and reached in, and a cop shot him in the back 7 times. Now, I think that's kind of fucked up.
Was it just one cop?
I'm pretty sure just one cop fired 7 times at him. It's what I read. Now, they're always changing it, and this was a little bit early on when I read that article.
Yeah.
But he's not dead. He was paralyzed from the waist down. And that sparked a bunch of protests, and some of it turned into riots and stuff. And I don't know if what's his last name?
Kyle
Rittenhouse. I don't know if he was the only other case of a shooting that went down. I think there was another one as well after that happened. Maybe a police officer was killed. I don't remember. I could be getting that wrong because there's so much shit going on all over the country. But yeah, run us through the Kyle Rittenhouse situation, Jason.
So, the narrative that you see on everything is that this dude basically was out there as some kind of vigilante guy with an AR-15, and that he shot these. You said 3. I only heard about 2, so maybe you know.
It was 3.
Okay.
2 died. 1 got his fucking arm.
Yeah,
his
heard about
biceps
one
gone.
His bicep
Yeah.
got blown off.
Okay. So, in any event, the news articles and headlines I've seen make it seem like he was just out there, was
looking to shoot
this
somebody.
extreme right-wing guy looking to shoot somebody or whatever. Yeah. And I don't think that that's at all what it was.
I don't either, based off of the video and picture evidence.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the video that isn't from a news source?
I've seen all the videos at every angle and pictures.
I've only
multiple
seen
different pictures
2
that were
videos.
taken of the night.
Okay, that I could find. You can't find these videos on YouTube without it being a news outlet that's covering it, and they fucking censor the whole goddamn thing.
There's a guy who uploaded a good video about it, and it got taken down immediately.
So I found them, like, I guess it was on Twitter or something. I don't know. But anyways, 2 videos. The one is the classic one where he's running away. He trips, he falls. Somebody comes up, swings at him, and he blasts a couple people. But it's really still hard to tell.
I think in that incident, it was the guy with the skateboard, and he was...
Which I never saw a skateboard. That's
head.
what's funny to me is I have not seen a video with anybody that has a skateboard.
Well,
I've only seen the picture.
Eyewitnesses said that the guy was hitting him with a skateboard, and he fired one shot, and the person took 3 steps back and dropped to the ground because he hit him straight in the heart.
Maybe.
But it was point blank, and the guy was beating him in the head with a skateboard.
That wasn't this video.
Maybe not. But that was one of the people. That was one of the people that he shot.
But then there was a video that I saw where it was hard to see. It was off at a distance. You hear a gunshot, and then it zooms in, and he's standing there, and there's a guy on the ground, right? And the person who posted the video was claiming that he shot this guy first. That's why everybody was running after him.
Nah,
That wasn't.
So
that's not what happened.
Well, I mean, the video looked like he shot a guy, and they said, "Get the fuck out of here!" And he turned around and started running. And then the next video, it's him running down the road and them chasing him, and then he shoots 2 more people.
Yeah, but that's not exactly what happened.
We don't know what the fuck happened.
No, there's
the George
much more
Floyd video looks
to it
like
than that.
he started with his neck on the ground, but they didn't release the rest of it until.
He actually, the medical examiner's main conclusion is that he died of a fentanyl overdose.
Yeah.
Not of asphyxiation.
This is kind of getting off, but what I don't understand about that, like, obviously, still, what the cop did, that's not, you don't do that.
Yeah.
You should know there's somebody dying under your knee or whatever. Like, that's still, but, like, how do we make it this far without the context of that coming out? Because, yes, it's still wrong, but when you put it together with the whole context of it, it's a lot less, like, it isn't as infuriating to everybody. And it may have prevented a lot of these riots and stuff from going on. I don't understand how all we had was that video starting with his neck on his knee, and we did not have until, a couple of weeks ago, the video leading up to that, where he was saying he couldn't breathe before he was even on the ground. Like, we didn't have him trying to kick the window out of the cop car, resisting asking them to kneel on his back or whatever. Like, I don't...
Because they wanted this shit to happen, obviously.
But I don't understand how there's no one...
You would think that the police department, especially if their guys are about to get thrown under the bus for it, that they'd release that footage immediately. Like, this is the whole story. Here it is, all of it, right? Yeah. So that is weird.
And I mean, with this new, like, Emmy saying that he died of a drug overdose, I think that could be bullshit, because the initial Emmy's report and the statement that the police department released was that he died due to, like, cardiac arrest from the knee to the neck and the overexposure and the overexhaustion of
somebody's
the fight.
Fucking lying, right?
Right, and then the family got independent medical examiners to look at the body, and their conclusion was that he died of asphyxiation from pressure to the neck. That was their conclusion. And then these other people are now saying, no, it was a fentanyl overdose, and that if we would have found his body like this in any other circumstance with no other conditions, we would have immediately declared it an overdose.
Or a COVID death.
Well, it would have been, it would have been like, oh, he overdosed, mark it down as COVID.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, but with this kid now, that Kyle kid, so they've also painted it like he came from another state and traveled a long way to get there.
That's true, isn't it?
It was like 20 minutes.
Technically, it is true he came from another state, but what they don't tell you, Illinois and Wisconsin are right near each other. He lives in a rural part of Illinois. This Kenosha or whatever is one of the one of the closest cities to him.
Yeah, the city he goes to shop.
He works there.
Gotcha.
Not only does he work there, but the shop owner, knowing there were going to be riots there, asked some of his employees to come there and help defend the shop if something were to go down.
See, that changes a lot, because that was one of the things that my opinion on was a lot different, I think, than most of the people who are taking this kid's side. Is that And the fact that he's underage, I still think he had no right to be there with a gun. That's against the law.
Is it against, like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
he's being charged with that. He's being
Okay.
charged with possession of a firearm underage, because you have to be 18 to possess a firearm.
It depends on the state, yeah, because, like, I'm pretty...
but
you can buy a shotgun in our state at 16.
No.
I'm pretty
18.
sure, man.
It's been 18 ever since I could remember, and they just recently
I'd have had
tried.
shotguns bought at fucking 16.
I grew up...
Yeah.
I feel like I got
no,
it.
I mean, I had guns before then, but it was because my parents bought them for me.
Yeah.
You know, but
They just recently tried to make it 21.
I
to
couldn't
a
buy
rifle.
shotgun shells for my gun at 16. My parents had to buy them. I could buy pellets for an air rifle at 16, but that was it.
But
It's 18.
that definitely changes things with it being like somewhere, like he worked at the place that he was at defending.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. See,
And he also showed up with a ton of medical supplies, and he didn't want to get into anything. He said that he was going there mainly to make sure nothing went on, and he told people this. People are testifying that he said this prior to going, and that he was planning on administering help to anybody that got injured, regardless of who they were.
Mm-hmm. And see, here's what kicked it all off that no one's really talking about. Before anyone was really riled up and there was any real confrontation between the militias that were out there protecting the business and the protesters / rioters, because they had become full-on rioters at this point. They had rolled a dumpster in front of the store or whatever it was and caught everything inside the dumpster on fire and were about to push it into the store. And someone comes running by with a fire extinguisher and puts it out. Now this person's wearing a black hoodie. Kyle was wearing like a gray or a brown t-shirt, but a few moments later there's video of him running past the camera with that fire extinguisher. And whenever the person put the fire out, the people protesting / rioting that were trying to burn the place down were like screaming, "Fuck you, why the fuck did you do that? Somebody kick his ass." And it was led by the guy who he first shot. And this guy was actively grabbing the gun from him and trying to punch him in the face. And that was the initial contact before he ever fired a shot on anyone. He kept being attacked by this guy until he eventually fired a couple of rounds and killed the guy. Now, this guy that he killed, this is also something they're not talking about. He was a convicted child sex offender and has years, freaking huge rap sheet of all kinds of terrible crimes.
He also was saying, "Shoot me, motherfucker. Shoot me."
Yeah.
And also, like, I think this is part that's coming out that's not on the video. That wasn't the first shot fired. Like, they're saying that there were, prior to him shooting, there were 16 shots fired.
By other people?
Yes.
Yeah.
In
And
the
I mean,
mob,
the
right?
guy,
Like in
the
the-
guy,
They don't know yet.
the guy whose bicep he blew off had a gun and was pointing it at him while he was on the ground and was about to shoot him, and he shot the guy in the arm and blew his bicep.
Well, that's
off.
what the thing I was listening to today said, that, like, he sees the guy with the gun, the Glock, he points the AR-15 at him, the guy with the Glock raises his hands, he then stands down, and then the guy kept coming at him and that's when he shot him.
Yeah, and from everything that I saw, it was like he wasn't just shooting into crowds of people. If he wanted to go there to just kill people, it would have been a mass shooting and he'd have killed everyone else that was there. He only shot at people who were actively attacking him, but he had no legal right to be there with that firearm because he's underage.
Well, I mean, you have a legal right to defend yourself under the Constitution.
Yes, but under
the
the
government's
under the
never
corrupt
fucking
law
followed
that
the
we
Constitution,
have,
never will. The
that's where he
Constitution's a piece
fucked
of
up
paper you can
in
wipe
the
your
sense
ass
of
with.
he's not technically allowed to have that gun and be there to defend the place. If you want to go defend your place of employment and you're underage, you're gonna have to fucking do it with something other than a firearm.
What's funny is, like, are you, like, so let's fast forward, and whatever. Let's say my kid's 16, and somebody breaks into my house, and he knows where my gun is. I'm not here, he shoots somebody, does he go to jail for that?
No. I've actually seen stories. This kid was
11 years old. Or something
and he picked up his dad's shotgun and blasted this dude.
Took him out.
And
it was like,
had a badass story about it.
When he went on the news, he was like, yeah.
I wasn't gonna let him hurt us or something. You know, I did what I had to do. Like
11 years old, you know what I mean?
But
like,
those,
killed a man.
That's different because he was in his home and someone was an intruder. But actively going out in public with a firearm that you're not legally allowed to have, because it's not illegal for a kid to shoot a gun. It's illegal for them to own it and to carry it in public because they can't own it.
Well, if he had stayed inside the shop,
then
that's a private business.
Maybe,
it's not in public.
Still, the age limit still might apply.
It's so stupid, man. Like
that is
shit,
stupid.
Like, I knew Jake Winters when he was like 15 or whatever, and like obviously they had a lot of guns and stuff.
Yeah.
And like I'd much rather that dude. If I was being attacked and I had to have somebody have a gun, I'd rather it be him than some 25-year-old idiot.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree.
But I don't know. It's just also. Did you know that Facebook has banned anyone saying anything supportive or complimentary of this the Kyle guy on Facebook because they have they came out and did people noticed that they had done it. And they came out and said, well, we're classifying this as a mass shooting, so therefore it's terrorism, and we have a policy about supporting or saying positive things about terrorism on our platform.
I did see a video, like maybe yesterday or the day before, on Facebook by a guy who's like, I think was an ex-cop, and he does a lot of breakdown videos of police shootings and stuff. And I like his videos because he does a pretty good job of breaking them down, but he does have a slight bias towards police officers, and I don't agree with everything he says. But this is where I got a lot of that information from, because he had a lot of video and a lot of pictures from that night.
Yeah.
And he had witness testimony from the journalist that was out there that was standing right behind the guy when he got shot and killed the first guy. He didn't necessarily justify anything the kid did. He just laid out all the facts and then said, some people are saying that this was a mass shooting. Some people are saying he was just defending himself. I look forward to the healthy debate in the comment section below, and left it at that. And so he might be getting away with it by just kind of talking about it, but not saying, I think that what he did was justified, because he never said anything like that. But
at some point, and like I know obviously y'all agree with me on this, but like the law is so stupid, and like I've heard people be like, well, he shouldn't have been there, you know, and I get like he was a year away from being 18 or whatever, but I think that's just as fucking stupid as an 18-year-old sleeping with a 17-year-old and getting him for statutory rape when it consent. I mean, it's retarded.
Yeah.
Like, but in any event, like, take his age out of it, people were like, well, he shouldn't have been there. He was just asking for it. Well, at some point, we're all going to have to figure out where we're going to be. And maybe that dude was just there before we're there. Because, like, that's what I was talking to somebody about it. And I used you and Al as an example. I was like, okay, so a friend of mine, you know, works at a smoke shop or whatever. They start rioting in that town. If they called me and said, hey, would you come, you know, just stand outside with a gun? I don't know if I probably wouldn't say no. Like,
yeah.
And I don't think anything's wrong with that. Like, at some point, like, this is a mob that is bent on just destroying everything.
Yeah.
And somebody has to stop them. The police clearly aren't going to do it.
No.
Yeah.
The local state governments aren't going to do it. In most cases, they're siding
with the rioters.
Yes.
You know,
who are trying to burn down police buildings.
Yeah. Yeah. It's insane. Yeah. And what's crazy...
I hate the world.
Yeah.
I hate everything about what's happening.
At least the few, like, protests that have happened around here have been, like, 15 to 20 people, and they were, like...
All little white girls?
Yeah.
Like, that's so funny. You see all these little white girls walking in front of these big old black guys. You know,
well, they put the white people in front just in case anything goes down. They're like the human shields.
My question is, how do you not feel like a pussy? Like, if you're walking behind that. Like,
They're these little white bitches are leading the way.
Yeah.
I respect all women. I say bitch in a purely as a term of endearment, okay?
Listen, did you guys hear? It's not about the Kyle kid, but it was about the original shooting that started it all. Did y'all hear what LeBron said about all that? Oh man, it's the most nauseating interview I've ever seen.
I'm sure.
I think this shit is going to actually kill sports, like or at least professional sports. I think we're going to start because already with all the COVID shit, I saw an article that the Atlanta Braves, the revenue this quarter was down 95%. They filed a loss and depreciated the team because I don't know how it would not be. You know, I turned on one of the game, like a baseball game, because that's really all that's going on, just to see what it was like, because they don't have people in the stands, and they got all these people out there fucking masks playing baseball and all this shit.
They're wearing masks
while
and
they play
playing baseball.
Not all of them, but more are than aren't.
While they're playing?
While they're playing on the field, out there playing, they got masks on.
Like the outfielders don't have to, maybe, because they're like farther than 6 feet, but it's like everybody else.
Well, I mean, everybody on the baseball field, really. I mean, I guess the outfielders, you're right, they never come in contact with anybody. But they're
going to breathe COVID on that ball, though, and chunk it into somebody. So
yeah, it's so stupid. But, like, so that's baseball, but at least they're playing. But what's fucked up about that is, like, a few of the Cardinals tested positive, so they're just not playing right now. The rest of the league's playing. How are you going to figure that out when tournament? But anyway, that's the COVID shit. So
a lot of the NBA players that tested positive for COVID, they came back later and said that it was false positives on, like, the majority of them. Yeah.
That's because this isn't real.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, so, like, you know, I don't know if you've seen what the NBA is doing, but A, they're playing in a bubble in Orlando right now because they're so scared of COVID. B, is because all these idiots support this shit, they have Black Lives Matter painted on every court in the NBA.
And then all the hashtags
they
on
have
their jerseys.
Yeah, we talked about all that stuff. And then
nobody's gonna watch this shit.
No, well so all that's happening. Revenue's down.
Fucking kill it all.
All that stuff's down, and then this shit happened, and the Milwaukee Bucks were supposed to be playing. It's like the playoffs now is Game 5. The day of it, they came out and said, "No, we're boycotting this police brutality. We're not playing tonight." And then like 7 or 8 other teams.
Isn't that just like punishment for like? I mean, like, I'm a basketball fan. You're a basketball fan, and a lot of African Americans are basketball fans, and you're mainly like this is a African American movement, and it's like you're taking basketball away from them. They're dealing with some shit right now, whether it be media manipulation or real shit, and shouldn't they at least have their fucking basketball game to enjoy and relax?
Yeah,
like why the fuck are you doing this?
They're doing this
sports.
Yeah, they're doing it because they want this shit. Like probably not the mid-level players that are actually playing and working for something.
Yeah.
But the top-level ones are probably being manipulated, and they don't give a shit anyway because they got all their sneaker money and all that. But, like... Yeah. But they do all that crap. It's because, like, if you ever go to, like, a basketball game, like, I don't really, the NBA, but I've went to Memphis Tigers games, and, like, you're sitting there watching. There's people around you. You talk to them about it. You never give a shit what their political opinion is because you're all just engaged in this. They don't want that kind of unity. They don't want you being around people and humanizing them. Like, no, that guy might be a Democrat or whatever, but he's cool. We watched the game together. We hung out. Like, they don't want that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's if they were even allowing fans and they had all of this political stuff, it's going to get brought up. Yeah. People are chatty next to each other, and people are going to have opposing opinions, and it's going to get heated.
It's all
and it's
over
going to
everything.
Cause more division. People are
this
already
just, like,
talking
never
about
happened
it from
like
home.
this before, though.
No,
like people didn't put politics in anything.
Yeah,
we didn't even fucking pay attention because it was all
in
garbage.
Like random comedy things, and it was always making fun of both sides.
Yeah,
and it was great. Like,
but we've just gotten to the people aren't people. People are. I mean, and it's kind of, I don't know, played out to say people are brainwashed, but like they are.
Yeah.
Like it's people don't do anything but what they're told. Mm-hmm. So there aren't any real people. I'm walking amongst a bunch of robots on a daily basis that have never thought an original thought in their life. They've never ever done anything but what authority has told them to do, and I'm losing my goddamn mind.
Yeah.
Like I am depressed on a daily basis now.
I have a friend who I saw him a post he he like shared on Facebook, and it was about Jacob Blake. And I don't remember what the second thing was, but the first thing was like, number one, people saying Jacob Blake has a active warrant for rape is not true. Number two, something, something, something. And it was like, these are very, very simple facts that any idiot could look up. And that was like the post that he shared. And it's like, technically the first statement is true, but the post forgets to mention that he does have an active warrant for sexual assault still currently. Jacob Blake has an active warrant for sexual assault on him right now, and he was handcuffed to the bed in the hospital, and people freaked out, like, why is he being handcuffed to the bed? Because he's going to jail and when he recovers, because he sexually assaulted someone.
Yeah, and what's crazy about that's what I was telling a friend of mine. I was talking to them about this. Like, what's fucked up about it, and when you're talking about charges and convictions and all this stuff, now warrants may be a little bit different, but like the other stuff, like if you get caught with drugs, right, it always sounds way fucking worse than what it is, because you can have just over whatever limit it is, and he's a drug dealer, and it's worse on everything on your rap sheet. But with this bullshit like violence and sexual assault, it always sounds better because they plead down to this bullshit. So you may have raped somebody, but then you plead down to whatever it is, like
aggravated sexual assault,
second degree sexual battery or something. You're like,
sexual
what is that?
misconduct.
Yeah, something like that. And it's not really what they did, and that's a fucked up system anyway. That drugs, it's like, they're the devil. But if you actually committed violence or any kind of rape, sexual stuff,
rape is one of the least punished crimes. And like, as far as like, not that they don't catch and punish them, but the penalty for the crime is so weak compared to how horrible that act is to me. Yeah. And it seems like that's designed that way on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
why?
You can rape somebody and be out in like less than 5 years.
Why is it designed that way?
I don't know.
Why do you think they would do that?
It's like that for even child pedophiles and stuff.
And like see the person that,
and then they get protected in prison the whole time as well.
Yeah. And it's weird, like, I mean, that kind of shit, that's with that person forever, usually, probably. I'm not gonna, I mean, maybe some people get over it, but I bet if it happens to you when you're a kid, you don't get over it.
Yeah, and it's like you might be like able to function in life, but it's always going to be there.
Yeah. So I don't know, but anyway, so they did this, and LeBron comes out and gives this ridiculous ass interview where he doesn't know any of the facts. He sounds like an idiot speaking about the stuff, and he's like, it's just, as black people, it's just real hard for us. We get up every day. We don't know, was the cop gonna, just had a fight with his wife, with his kids? Is he going through some stuff? Is he gonna be aggressive? He's like, or maybe he just woke up one day saying, I'm gonna kill a black person. And he's like, and so he says all this bull crap, and then so I don't know what happened. I think they've decided to go back to it, but like, they had when that game got boycotted, I don't know if they were playing the Lakers or what, but like LeBron led we just need to cancel all the playoffs and boycott this thing. First of all, LeBron, you need to learn the definition of the word fucking boycott. You're not boycotting something. If somebody says I got to wear a mask in a store and I say I'm not shopping there anymore, that's a fucking boycott. What are you boycotting? Let's say that your version of events is exactly right. What did the fucking NBA do? Or like you said, any of the fans, they had nothing to do with that.
Right. They've done nothing.
Yeah. And this fictional white cop that wakes up and says, I'm going to shoot a black guy today. Right. Do you think he's going to go, man, shit, I was gonna, but LeBron might not play?
Yeah.
Like, he's not thinking that at all.
Who knows? Maybe it'll work. Try it out, LeBron. No one's going to watch anyway if you play or not.
Yeah. Nobody, and it's getting to the point where I don't think people care. Like, I mean, I enjoyed watching that stuff with Judah. I was going to take him to a Grizzlies game. I took him to a lot of Tigers games. We went to go see. But, like, it's
been a staple for forever, and it's about to be gone.
It will. Like,
the only thing that'll survive is golf.
Golf, UFC, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They're doing UFC fights without anybody in the crowd. I've seen a couple of the recent events have been no fans.
What's funny about that, though, is like that'll survive because it's fine. Like, you don't have, like, people aren't they don't have these big like they are losing money, obviously not selling the tickets, but they're getting the pay-per-view money is the big thing, right?
Yeah.
And then there's no brands, right? I would imagine, like, even now, like, most of the people that buy these jerseys and stuff, they buy them, A, because they're going to a game, and they probably buy them at the game, right?
Right.
But now, I don't know. That individual shit will probably survive. I don't know that this will. Like, even the Titans guy, like, their quarterback came out and, like, gave this big, long rant about how, Ryan Tannehill, he's a white guy, but he was like how America's systematically racist. We should be ashamed of ourselves. It's been going on forever. We got to put a stop to it. And I'm just like, I will not listen to these fucking millionaire demigods that could walk into
this anywhere else but fucking America.
Yeah, and
you cannot go anywhere else in the goddamn world, you privileged piece of shit. We're talking about privilege.
Yeah, since LeBron James was fucking 18, when is the last time he walked into a damn room and he wasn't the most adored person in that room?
Exactly.
When? Like, he is on such a
according to
level.
him, he's being hunted down by police every day.
This is bullshit. Like, if you ever get pulled over, I guarantee the cop's like, "Oh shit, can I get an autograph? Man, you're cool."
Yeah.
Like, he probably they let him go.
You're gonna get let go. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
I have seen a few celebrities get pulled over and try to play the celebrity card, and it did not work for them. Like T.I. and John Jones.
Yeah.
But they were both extremely fucked up drunk driving vehicles.
Oh yeah.
John Jones fucking wrecked his shit into some stuff after he beat some woman or some
illegal
shit.
Pistol in his car.
Yeah, that's different.
It's completely different. They're
Yeah,
not gonna let you go.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't let LeBron go if he was belligerent drunk, like swerve. But like, I'm just saying, like, they're not. It's ridiculous, that thought, and I will not sit here and listen to. I won't even give a TV rating to these professional athletes that want to talk about how they're oppressed, and they've got more money than anyone I know.
Yeah.
They are more worshipped than anybody. It's ridiculous, and I don't know. To me too, it's insulting to people that are actually struggling.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I mean, fuck.
yeah. I don't know,
you asshole.
Yeah.
What the fuck's wrong with you? You're gonna act like this?
When LeBron
People are really starving out there, man.
When
People
LeBron
are really
was in fucking high school, his games were being pay-per-viewed. Like, they were charging pay-per-view for his fucking games.
Fuck you, LeBron.
And what's crazy to me about it, and I think you guys know this, but like, obviously all the human rights violations, abuse that happens in China, like with Hong Kong, and then I don't remember what are the name of the Muslims that are being like basically rounded up and
I'm not
put.
sure.
I heard about something like that.
There's a name. They're like a certain sect of Muslims there that are being literally put into concentration camps. Let's not talk about the child labor, all that bullshit, right? So the NBA gets a ton of money from China. They love it over there. Mm-hmm. To kind of demonstrate how much they love it, apparently John was telling me this, but like there was this Yao Ming. He was this big old Chinese center guy, right?
Yeah.
But he was never that great. Like he wasn't.
He's a legend, though.
He like he was tall, but he was never the best, even close to the best center. Well, the way that they do the All-Star games is it's voted on, right? Well, everyone in China was voting for him. So, like, Shaq got pissed at one point. He was like, this is bullshit. Because he played that. He goes, he's nowhere near the best center, and he gets to play in this this All-Star game every freaking year because all of China is voting for this guy. But anyway, they love it over there, right?
Yeah.
And they get a lot of revenue from it. LeBron, that's one of the biggest things, like, especially even with all this stuff on the back of their jersey, people are like, oh, I guess they won't put free Hong Kong. Yeah. It's because they're getting so much money. Not long ago, somebody in the NBA, it was either a coach, it might have been a player, I don't know, but he said something in an interview about that bullshit in China. I think it was with the Muslims. It could have been free Hong Kong, but it may, anyway, one of those two things. He said about it. LeBron and like a couple of these other prick players came out and were like, this guy just needs to shut his mouth. He's fucking with all of our money. LeBron, you would be a damn plantation owner back in the South if you had the opportunity, because you're so damn rich now, and you're out there bitching about somebody, but you don't care about all these people over there.
No,
it's because you're
fucking
selfish.
with your money.
Yeah, And it's ridiculous.
And the only reason he's saying the shit that he's saying is not because he cares about anything or the movement. It's because he thinks it's going to help him for some reason.
Yeah.
Because that's just what you do as a celebrity, especially if you're African American. Because if you don't, then you're branded as an Uncle Tom or this or that. And
the thing that pisses me off about it too is I don't think like as like a Family Guy or whatever, I don't think he's a bad dude. Like, I've seen stuff like, from what I understand, his dad left. I don't know if he knows who he is or whatever.
Yeah.
He wasn't around for him, whatever. So he's like, he wants to be there for his kids. And like, I've seen videos even when he didn't know he's being recorded, like him talking to his kid and all that. And he seems like LeBron, Black Lives, go look up the fucking thing. They want to destroy your family.
Yeah.
Like, they don't want that.
People are just dumb, dude.
Yeah.
They're just dumb. We're all just... It's too easy to go through life without looking at anything that has any weight to it, right? Because you're LeBron James. You go play basketball, you make millions of dollars, and you live that life. Or you're, Daniel Scott.
Anything that is going to mess that up or is outside of the narrative of the political correctness, you're just going to avoid.
Yeah.
Basically, it's ignorance.
Yeah.
It's ignorance.
It's ignorance, exactly. You're ignoring. It's not nescience, it's ignorance.
Yeah.
And it's easier to do that.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone is doing.
Yeah.
And it's not...
Just like with that,
it's
that
not
post
even,
that I was talking about that I saw on my feed, like, the conclusion to the post was, it's so easy to look this stuff up, yet the person who shared this didn't even look up that, okay, it's so easy to look up, but how about mention the fact that he does have a warrant for sexual assault? Mm-hmm. It's not rape, it's sexual assault.
Right.
That should still be mentioned.
Yeah.
Like, and you're just acting like that's the whole thing isn't true.
Right.
When you're saying, oh no, he doesn't have a warrant for this.
And what's funny is, like,
you never even looked it up before you shared this.
Yeah. It's not, and it's not that easy to look stuff up.
No, it's
like,
not.
If you don't know, Google is so fucked. I know that, but like, if I was trying to figure out the COVID, like the death count year over year, and not take everything out of it, just how many people died in America that last year, how many died this year. I was on Google. I search it. All you get's COVID shit, COVID death count. You scroll on page. You
have to go to it's a specific site. You have to type that in. You can't put like how many people die in a year. You know what I mean? You have to go to the site that actually calculates all that stuff. You have to just specifically search for that on Google, or you won't fucking find it.
And then I like the Department of Health.
No, I can't remember what it was. I watched a video of somebody who was talking about it, and they're like, go to the something. They log all this stuff, right? And so I went and looked at it, and we were on par to hit exactly what we hit every year for average death toll.
Yeah, well,
we are not above it by any means. We are going to hit like 65 million people die a year in the world from random shit.
In the
That's where we're
U.S.,
headed.
it's down. But regardless, I was looking on Google, got frustrated.
It's down because nobody's doing anything.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna go to DuckDuckGo. I went there. First link. Now it wasn't the actual website, but it was something that linked to that website, and then a whole article was about it. I think it was like an
DuckDuckGo is legit, dude.
Yeah. So like that kind of bullshit, man. Like where they just will manipulate that stuff. And what's funny is in the Google search, we've had 66,000 more deaths in America this year, and they're cherry picking certain weeks. And saying, if this week, and then extrapolate that out or whatever, it's just complete garbage. But
I mean,
the same thing with other stuff.
The whole thing about how you could type in any number, any 3-digit number, and the word cases behind it in Google, and you'll find an article about that exact amount of cases, whether it be new cases, deaths, or like that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I did it with like fucking 2 or probably like 20 different numbers, and there's a case with the exact number that you type in, and you don't have to put in corona, COVID, nothing, just 3-digit number, cases, and it comes up with 3 or 4 different articles about that exact number of cases in a specific state or whatever. And it's like, there's no way that that's a coincidence. No. Every number, there's a town or a state that has exactly that many cases that just so happen to pop up, or that many deaths that just so happen to happen.
Yep.
Like,
It's just the war on terror is over, guys.
Yeah.
The virus wars are here.
Isn't that funny? Yeah, terrorism's gone.
It's over.
When's the last time there was a mass shooting?
It's over too.
None of that.
Nothing's
happening.
All
I
that's
mean,
fucking because it's
Kyle,
all fucking
what's his face?
orchestrated.
Yeah.
They're
Like,
trying to
none
claim
of this
that's a
shit's
mass
real. Like
The last mass
governments
shooting that I
create
heard of
this
happened in
shit.
Canada.
Governments are the problem. Get rid of them. Like this is it's what it boils down to. Like the shit that happens is created. Almost every single thing that you see is a fabrication. It's not real. Stop.
Yeah.
Wake the fuck up. But you won't.
That whole Antifa.com thing tripped me out, dude.
Yeah, isn't that
I
fucking
couldn't
crazy?
get it to work. So talk about what that was. I couldn't get
Dude,
it to
I
work.
mean, if you type in Antifa.com on Google, press go, Biden pops up. Biden.com.
Really?
Yeah. It went. I mean, it just immediately pops up.
All right.
Joe Biden. Did it change? Did they change it?
It just... Hold up. That was weird.
See, all I've got, when I type it in, it does not come up like that. The first thing is Snopes. Did Antifa.com redirect to Biden's official campaign website?
Yes, it did.
Well,
Because I
it's
did
fun.
it.
Even Snopes says mostly true. Fucking Snopes can't.
They
deny
changed it, and now it redirects to Google.
Just to Google.
To Google.
What the fuck? But no, I mean, when I did it
.com
like you
go
sent the picture to us.
redirects you straight to Google. Yeah.
So it did it. It did it 2 days ago.
I did it 3 times in a row. I did it actually 3 times in a row, but I didn't just use because like I can switch my search engine on my internet browser, and I switched it to Bing and Yahoo and searched, and it still popped up Joe Biden's website when I searched Antifa.com.
Fucking weird. I bet it wouldn't happen on DuckDuckGo.
Is that a search engine?
Yeah, dude, you should download it. It's great. Like they even will tell you like who's trying to track your shit when you click stuff. It'll pop up and be like Google and 5 other whatever were trying to track you to this place, but we blocked them for you. Like, fuck yeah.
I always wonder if like incognito mode actually works. Like if you go to Google Chrome and put on incognito mode, if it's like,
of course not.
I think it just doesn't save your history. But
that's it.
It also I think like doesn't save cookies and stuff. But like they're still, I'm sure, gathering every single bit of thing you search.
And on the cool thing about DuckDuckGo too is like if you click something that is affiliated with Google, they'll be like, look, this is affiliated with Google.
You sure you want to do this?
You sure you want to do this? Because we can't stop that.
They're
If
like,
you're-
are you really sure you want to do this?
Yeah. They're like, look, if you want to go this way, we can't stop their shit if you're gonna go to their things that they own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Listen,
they're legit.
the best way to, like, I mean, it's a pain in the ass, but if you want to be anonymous, you need to get a VPN, use the Brave browser. It's like a it's a cryptocurrency, but their browser, like, it blocks and stuff, and use DuckDuckGo, and like I think that's pretty safe.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, I didn't realize, like, it's crazy that like you could go to your internet provider and they know everything that you've ever went to.
It's fucking crazy, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
fucked.
Hope they never put my porn search history out.
A little exotic, is
There's
it?
gonna be a lot of fart porn to explain.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing, Jason. It's what you watch when you're having a tragedy in your life, okay? Because there's nothing funnier than fart porn.
I'll give you that.
I don't know. Did you watch that video that I sent?
I never did watch it, man. I wanted to so bad. And I had that scare last night with Ada, and I never got around to it. The comments that you guys sent were cracking me up, making me think like this video is going to be so funny.
You have no idea. I watched a whole fucking hour-long documentary about how the vaccines are coming on the Corbett Report. You know what I mean? And I was just so fucking depressed.
Was it that Bill Gates thing, or was that
No,
different?
this is a separate thing. The Bill Gates thing.
I
you
watched
should watch.
half of that and then fell asleep because I'd been up all night.
Jason just threw some gold at us, man, with the Cardi B WAP with
Ben Shapiro. That I watched.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, that
that cheered
great.
me up. And then he throws in this penis power video.
Wet
and
ass P word. Like,
love that. Some N-word. Like the way he says
gonna
it.
catch a charge or something.
It's so funny. So when I first heard that, that version of it. I mean, I knew he commented on it and did all
Yeah.
that, but like, we were going to lunch, me and John and the 3 ladies that we work with, and one of them, like 2 of them knew that song and one of them didn't, and they're like, you got to put this song on or whatever. So I pull up Spotify, listen to the original Cardi B song, everybody's like talking about it or whatever, and then one of the suggested things, somebody got on Spotify him doing that. I was like, guys, I know you might not know who this is, but I gotta play this right now because it says Ben Shapiro singing the song. And so, and it was the audio of that, and everybody in the freaking car, nobody else. I mean, John, I think, knew who Ben Shapiro was, but those 3 didn't.
What's wrong with them?
They're smart.
Yeah, I'll give you.
They're looking up stuff like that actual like conspiracy theory stuff, like in the pedophile rings and all that now. So, but one of them texted.
You're changing them one at a time, man. I'm proud of you.
Oh, they're into it, man.
Good.
Like, but they, one of them texted the group text. They were like, "Hey, what was that comedian that was reading the words?" I said, "No.
Oh.
That was not a comedian. It was not supposed to be funny. Yeah, he's an idiot. He's a conservative commentator.
He's never said anything funny intentionally in his life."
Yeah.
That's B word. Like the way his tone.
The person who put that video up was like, "Thanks, Ben Shapiro, for censoring yourself so I could get monetized."
Yeah.
And then I love, like, it starts out, dude, it's repeating, he just over and over again, there's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. Whores in this house. Like, you're like...
I haven't ever heard that song.
Have you?
I
Actual
haven't
song.
either. I haven't heard the actual song.
I've kind of like made it a point to not listen to it because
But
I don't listen to her music anyway.
I don't
and
either.
It just
you're gonna
sounds
tonight,
like it's
when
the
we get
worst.
off of here. Oh, it's terrible. When we get off here, we're gonna listen to that song and we're gonna listen to that other song I told you about. And then you can go home and you can watch the video I sent you. Gosh, I do think I will say, and it pains me to defend Ben Shapiro because I hate him more than any of the other ones. I think I hate him more than I do the Young Turks, even though I agree with him more than I do them.
Yeah.
I think I just hate him more.
Yeah.
Because I expect more out of you, Ben. You're
Yeah.
not stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that jank guy's an idiot. But,
His name's Chink.
I think that's not true, and that's a derogatory term towards Asians.
It's all right. I have an Asian wife. I can say whatever I want.
give him that.
Just because you married an Asian woman doesn't mean that you're not racist.
Okay.
That's what they say.
Okay, liberal woman. Get away from me. Is it Sink?
I think it's jank.
Yeah, I think
Jank?
it's jank.
Yeah.
The fuck out of here, dude.
Listen, man, I get so...
Have you seen the video of him talking about bestiality?
Oh.
He's like, I think it should be legal as long as you're pleasuring the animal.
Oh my god.
Even what's the girl that sits next to him?
I don't know her name. But
Anyways, even
Hook nose.
yeah, even
Hook nose big tits.
yes, even she was like, "What?" Like, he's like, "Hear me out, hear me out."
The animal has to be really, really pleasured. Like, how do you defend that? How do you argue that?
And how do you know? Like, most animals, especially the girls, when they... You ever seen an animal breed? It doesn't seem... Like, the girl don't usually want it.
Yeah.
And then freaking... You watch Owen Benjamin, he's always going on about duck rape and all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the animal world is all about rape.
Listen, my freaking aunt used to breed Dachshund dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that was going on one time when I was a kid, and that, like, scarred me
you,
a
huh?
little bit, because that was not anything. I was like, ugh.
Yeah,
Animal
stuck
sex
together.
is intense.
I feel like we've gotten off track here. I don't remember what I was saying about. Oh, I was trying to defend Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
Like everybody was like, he can't arouse his wife because he thinks. I listened to that whole thing. He wasn't saying that really. He was just like the amount that they're describing.
Okay, see, that's what I figured the context
stupid.
was.
Like, Ben, they're clearly
exaggerating this.
Yeah.
You don't need a mop.
See, but this is the this
It's
is the
not
problem.
pouring out the front door.
Exactly.
This is the problem
Stop
with Ben
it.
Shapiro. Is like I think that in his mind is his sense of humor. I think he's
Yeah.
trying to joke when he says those things, but he comes off so seriously
Yeah.
that it just sounds like
Yeah.
you're
If
having
he
a
has a
weird
sense of
discussion
humor, it
about
would
your
be
wife's
that way.
wetness.
And
Yeah.
so, yes, you're probably right.
It's so funny. I watched this one, like, it was like a parody of it, and the first thing they made fun of, it was like a guy dressed like him or whatever. The very first thing they made fun of, he just starts the thing out going, by the way, my wife's a doctor. I don't know if you knew this. My wife's a doctor. She's a doctor.
Dude, he never passes up that opportunity.
Yeah, he essentially always is like, my doctor wife. Like, that's how he addresses.
Got it, Ben. Shit.
We understand. You're a Jew. She's a doctor.
Yep. That's really...
We get it.
All you talk about.
Yeah. Israel's fucking awesome, dude.
We got it.
Yes. Okay.
They can do no wrong.
Have a good one.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm just... I don't know, man. Like I said, I get more and more depressed on a daily basis. I don't know how to handle any of this stuff.
It's weird, man.
I don't know what to do. It's going to get worse and worse, guys.
Start watching funny compilations on YouTube of people failing and falling.
Listen, that's fine.
Crashing on skateboards.
That causes some temporary relief.
It's awesome.
You have to realize that if we ignore this, it's going to continue to get worse, and that's what scares me.
You don't ignore it. You just balance it so that you don't
Balancing
go crazy.
it is fine, but like, there's no way to not go crazy because everyone is throwing it all away.
Yeah.
You know, you have to expect that the Bill Gates of the world, the governments of the world are going to do exactly what they're doing, but I didn't expect that the people would just fucking roll over the way they have. And that they allow it to happen. You know that these people are evil. They're going to do what they're going to do.
But
they're going to try their hardest.
There are a lot of people on
it's
both
up to
sides.
us to stop it, and no one's fucking stopping it.
I don't know, but there's a lot of people on both sides of that whole thing.
There are, man, but they're not.
Like the people that elected Trump
are fucking morons. They're not doing anything right. They're not.
But a lot of them are. I think when this vaccine thing gets pushed through, and
they'll
say
take it because Trump said that it was good, and we're pushing it, and it's going to be here. We're fast tracking it. He's moving his hands.
I think a lot of them won't. I think a lot of the because it's one of those things. It's one of those things again where like the people on the left, the radicals, are louder than everyone else. That's why it seems like that's the majority of the country. But I don't think it really is.
I agree with you on that. I'm with you. But I live in a conservative state. I'm in a county that's very conservative, and the people around me still throw the mask on. They still do what they're told.
Yes,
they still comply. With,
a lot of that,
immoral...
like when I'm working, a lot of people come in with masks, but 90% of them say, "Do I need to wear this in here?" And I go, "No, no one gives a shit." And they're like, "Oh, thank God."
Yes,
but
that is not a rebel spirit, though.
But listen,
that's which master's going to tell me what I can do next?
But here's
is it the guy at the smoke shop or is it the government?
Here's the thing:
I'll follow whoever tells me it's okay to do this.
If I have to stop by Raceway on my way home and get some gas, and I don't have any money in my bank account, but I have cash, and I need gas so that my car will be able to take me places, I'm going to put a mask on and go inside and get gas, even though I disagree with it. Because that's the rule right now, and they will not serve me without it. So I'm going to do it.
I've just found places that won't.
I don't think that makes me a hypocrite.
Not
because
necessarily.
No.
I still disagree with it, but I still have to live in the world that is going on, but I can disagree with it at the same time.
Right, but
I'm not going to go out of my way to stand in there and argue with someone in Raceway for an hour about why I shouldn't have to wear a mask and how it's bullshit and break it down because I'm just trying to get some gas and go home.
I understand that.
And so people got to do what they got to do and live their lives. And so some people are just throwing the mask on because it's mandatory. And
that's how we'll all fucking get on the fucking
trains
to the
and it is a slippery slope because
it
starts with a mask and it ends with
forced
vaccination.
And it will happen because it happened in 1905. Like this is not something that the government has not dealt with in the past. There was a gentleman, I can't remember, I should have looked this up because I fucking never do the research that I should and have the right.
Just be like the guy that you call Chink. Google it.
Anyways, yes, I think it was 1905. Anyways, there was a man who said he was not taking a mandatory vaccine in a particular state for smallpox or some shit that was happening at the time, right? And that particular area said, everybody's got to take a vaccine. If you don't, you're threatening everyone else. Same exact thing that's happening right now, right? He said, no, I've taken vaccines before. They have severely hurt me, right? They've fucked me up. I'm not taking it. And I will not pay your $5 fine. It was either take it or pay a $5 fine. That was it, right? Okay, so it ends up going to the Supreme Court, and they ruled that You don't have a right to not take it if it's for the
Alan
betterment
Dershowitz
of the
just
good.
said that the other day, that Americans don't have a right, a constitutional right to not get the vaccine.
Exactly, and it's already been taken care of 100 years ago.
But
here's the thing: they didn't force the man to take the vaccine. They did force him to pay the $5. They took his $5, and he never took the vaccine. But he lost the court case.
Sure.
It was either take the vaccine or pay the $5. So it was never
the-
about health. It was never about keeping people safe. It was about you will do what we tell you to do.
And I think that this mandatory vaccine that they're going to push, it's going to be, you don't get it, then we're going to quarantine you in a prison cell.
Yeah, or you can't leave your house.
Or you can't leave your house.
And what's funny is I don't see how people don't draw the difference between, like, I mean, we're already in a police state. Like, it's already bullshit that cops pull you over and go, where are your papers? Where are your papers? Like, but, I mean, this is even more like, did you get the thing put in your arm? Okay, back home. Like, and you can
and we're probably going to get badges that we have to wear to show that we've been vaccinated to leave the fucking house. And it's like...
Yeah.
Marking the fucking Jews in Nazi Germany. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane.
Yeah. And I think, like, what Daniel's saying, like, I've thought that too. Like, the thing that it's hard because, like, I knew I didn't think like most people, obviously. But, like, when it's not people wearing it on their face, like, it's just not in your face at all. Like, you're always like, and again, I do agree with you to the point, like, I don't fault somebody that is working. They have to wear a mask to work, you know, whatever. Or even if I try my best not to be in any place that makes you wear a mask or whatever. But even, like, if they're in there, whatever. But, like, how many people do you see driving in their car, in the parking lots, they're bought into this shit.
They bought into it.
I mean, I saw a lady, and I know people have seen people with actually wearing the mask completely on their face while driving in their car.
Oh, I've seen them all the time.
Oh, dude.
The first thing I saw was just a lady who had it just hanging on her ear, hanging down the side, and that still just pissed me off. Like, you don't have to do that, lady. You can set the freaking mask down, or at least hang it on your windshield so people know that you're, you know...
They think there's something out there that's going to get them. It's mind-blowing. Every day I'm mind-blown. Like, I will tell people that come in with masks, if you'd like to take that off, you can. Oh, I'm used to it by now. I'm going to keep it on. Okay. I'd like you to leave.
Get the fuck out
I'd like you to leave right now because, you know, if this was...
You need to put a sign up. You wearing a mask? No service.
Dude, if this was 10 months ago, I would have thought you were going to try to rob me.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you're still going to because I've told you can take it off. And you still are not showing your face.
Is very annoying, and there have been a mass increase in robberies.
I'm sure.
Due to, like, across the country, due to the fact that everyone has to wear a mask when they go into stores. So now criminals have a reason to cover their face and go into a store, and no one suspects them. When you walk into a store, freaking last year, year before that, with a mask on,
oh, dude, it was the end of the world.
Like, take that mask off right now.
Yeah, people used to come in with
motorcycle helmets.
Yeah, I would tell them as soon as they hit the door, take that helmet off now or leave.
Yeah, because
like, you're not walking in here with a fucking helmet on.
Yeah,
completely covered. You know what I mean? Get the hell out of here.
But now it's the new norm, and it's you know, I definitely am like doing ocular pat downs. You know, like, I'm aware of everyone that comes in that could be a possibility when I'm at work, and it's. Which the thing is that's always a possibility. People do that shit.
It is.
Regardless. Criminals do things. But it is spiking because they're making it easier for them.
Yeah, man. I don't see a good future. I don't. And it saddens me because, you know, it's fucked. We're all young. You know, we have families. We want to start families. We want our children to be able to have a good life. And it's not looking good. None of it's looking good.
It's fucking annoying.
And I mean, the only thing I can say is that we stand up for what we know is right, but that we will lose. We will not win.
Maybe.
We will lose. We will die fighting for what we know is right because it's too late. Our parents failed. Their parents failed. It's over. But
probably started with everybody letting the state educate their kids.
Yeah. Why the fuck would you do that?
Yeah. Dude, it's funny, and I was telling Daniel this the other day, like, I know when I tell people I homeschool my kids, and we've had this discussion on this podcast with Ethan's dumbass.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, they're not going to be socially whatever. And obviously, whatever, Ethan, I'm sure, probably don't want to wear a mask or whatever. But, like, every time, if you say anything about homeschooling, it's, oh, they won't be social. They won't be socialized. You gotta do that. Do you think these kids that aren't able to see anyone's face are going to be fucking social? They will be so social. They've never been close to anybody.
Take all this aside. When has that been the most important thing that your kid needs?
Yeah.
Because it's never been something that I thought was fucking important. Fuck everybody. You guys are all goddamn morons. Look at what you're doing right now. I don't want my kids to be anywhere near you. You know what I mean? So that's a dumb thing to think as being a major priority. I understand that there are positive things to it, but it's not the number one priority of what I would put down for my children. No. That's not yes, socialization can be a good thing, but it's not the thing at the forefront.
Me and Maddie were just talking about this because we want to homeschool Ada, and we were like thinking about, if she wants to take a musical instrument or something like that, and then we get her into a class where other kids are taking it, or whatever she's interested in. We go take her to do this, and then that's a social circle. That's a group of people that she can meet, and maybe they'll be people she doesn't want to hang out with. Maybe they'll be people she makes friends and has friends with for life.
Right.
And like I think about like how we took piano and made some incredible friends through that.
Sure.
That like I knew some of them from church, but I wasn't really friends with them until we started taking piano and. It was more like
there's plenty of ways to get your friends to have, or your kids to have friends. It's not a big deal.
We had plenty of friends and were homeschooled and didn't go to that. Like
it's a dumb fucking argument. It always
Ethan,
has
you're
been.
dumb.
It's a stupid argument. It's not as important as people make it out to be, and it's not like you're not going to have it when you are homeschooled.
I think it is pretty important, but I think that it's not nearly the... I don't know. Well, you're right. It's not the most important thing.
It's not.
I'd rather my kid not be socialized or whatever and still be able to have a logical thought in his mind and not be a brainwashed puppet for the rest of his life.
Sure.
But
it's
secondly,
way more important.
I don't think like the way that we school kids now has not been going on for the majority of human history. Yeah. So to say that they won't be socialized, like you have all kinds of ways for them to be. I mean, y'all come over here, my kids interact with you. He goes to jiu-jitsu 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's all kinds of different things. I mean, before this, he was involved in sports. They don't play those anymore. But, like, I mean, he plays with his cousins, his friends. Like,
that's the thing. We had 10 cousins growing up. Like, we always hung out with our cousins.
Yeah. We got made fun of for having so many cousins.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's I don't know, man. You can if you put any type of effort into your children, you can create an environment for them that they need.
Yeah,
whether you put them in school or not. And I think putting them in school is doing a horrible thing to them.
And I think the benefit to essentially choosing a social circle for your child and having more control over it of who they're associating with is far greater than just throwing your kid into school with a bunch of kids who there's good kids and then there's really bad kids who are horrible influences who you don't know what your kid is going to latch on to.
Absolutely. And that's like even with, like I said, that jiu-jitsu class, like everybody that goes there, like their parents are sitting there watching them do it. That you're more like, I'm not saying there's probably a couple crappy parents in there, whatever, but like it's not the same as, hey, go to school with everybody that lives in this county. Yeah. And then, just mingle with them. And who knows if the kid that is next to your kid, his mom or dad is molesting them and they're going to be doing whatever. Like, it's not, you're much less likely to run into that when you choose the thing.
And doing something like jiu-jitsu that's constructive, that's teaches you
you would
control
think that the parents
and respect and things like that. Like that's you're going to gain more from going to a jiu-jitsu class than you would going to fucking 12 years of high school of public school.
Yeah,
like, but
I mean, I get they are going to have to learn to interact with everybody. I get that, but I just don't know that it's all because you have kids that are not. They're so far out of their age range, like. I don't know. Like, I want my kids... I'm going to, hopefully, progressively expose my kids to things as they're able to handle it. Like, I don't care if when I'm 16 or when my kid's 16 or 17, like if he can handle it, like us sitting there watching Game of Thrones or whatever.
Sure.
But I don't want him watching that now because he can't process it. He can't put that in the right categories. If he's mature, like, and can do that, I mean, I know that's on like a extreme end of the spectrum, and there's not really a reason to show him that. But I mean, there is some like intense shit that he can learn from.
Sure.
You know.
I mean, that's the thing, man. Like they're gonna figure it out anyways. They're gonna be thrown into life, and you're gonna deal.
Yeah, I mean, and it's best to learn those kinds of things from your parents, I think, than to learn it from some random person who's possibly encouraging it.
I mean, dude, even like our homeschool friends, like we learned a lot of things from them that like our parents at the time would have been irritated about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna have friends. It's fucking normal to have friends. Whether you're homeschooled or not homeschooled, you're gonna have a fucking group. You're gonna meet some kids. You're gonna be friends with them, and you guys are gonna do shit and show each other shit that like your parents don't want you to be knowing right now.
And
that's just the way that it is. Like, it's gonna happen.
And some of it's just, what do you want? Like, what is your kid geared towards? Like, I mean, there were kids when I finally did go to school. Like, there were kids that had been in public school that didn't have any friends and didn't really seem like they wanted to be around it. Like, they weren't social people. Yeah. Before I was homeschooled, I hung out with everybody on my street. I was always wanting to be around people because that's just what I wanted to do. You know?
Yeah, I mean, dude. I mean, I remember having friends like in Mississippi at Nanny and Pawpaw's house. You know what I'm saying? Like, way before we were in school. Yeah. You know, like the neighborhood kids around there, like we all hung out with. Yeah. And rode bikes and played with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just normal. Like, if you see, like, kids are just gonna fucking make friends with people. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Fucking random park.
Yeah. They're gonna fucking play with kids there. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that big of a priority. You know, people get so freaked out about that, you know, and it's like,
it's not the most important thing.
It's not the most important, and it's not going to not happen. Yeah. It's going to still happen.
Yeah.
Now, what's your next fucking rebuttal?
Well, what's funny about bullshit. But what's funny Ethan. About it well, what's funny is what they're turning the shit into. Like in our county, they're going 2 days a week, and everybody's got to wear masks. And they're probably going to make them stagger the desks. Like, you're not getting socialized there either.
No, you're not getting socialized, and you're also not getting an education.
No.
I mean, since the Department of Education was founded, the average IQ has consistently been dropping.
Sure.
Kids have been getting dumber and dumber ever since the Department of Education, a government agency that's designed to educate people,
a job to do, they fuck it up every time. They will never do a legitimate job because it boils down to, it should be a private thing. People should be able to go to schools that they want to go to. They, you know, maybe a voucher system would work. I don't know, but it's ridiculous, the system that's in place, and it always has been. It's been this way since the beginning of it. You know, it's bullshit. It's a bullshit system.
Two things. One, it's so funny the way they're doing it now. It's so fucked up because everybody's like, well, we gotta have the teachers, and the teachers will never want to go back to school because they're getting paid the exact same for not doing as much. So they'll never do it. Yeah. But I'm sure I got this from somebody, and this isn't an original thought that went through my head. It's funny how they name these government agencies. The Department of Health, get vaccines. Here's the food pyramid. It's literally the opposite. The Department of Health. Defense is the Department of Offense. Yeah. When is the last time they've defended somebody on the homeland?
It is 1984. Yeah. All of those, the Ministry of Love, had nothing to do with love. No, it was about war. Yeah. You know what I mean? It is. We are there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking wake up. You know, it's all bullshit.
The police to serve and protect. When the last time you saw one of those motherfuckers serving anybody?
They don't.
Yeah, and maybe they occasionally protect somebody, but most of the time they don't.
They don't.
They show up afterwards and take some paperwork.
Exactly. You know, and it's just, the whole world is backwards. And you know, I don't know. Maybe the Christians got it right. Maybe this place has always been doomed. Maybe that, you know.
I mean, that's not a hard prediction to.
It's not, but like, there's no fixing this place. Not that I can see. It's been fucked since the beginning of time. It always will be. There's no fixing
people have
it.
lived and died and lived and died and lived and died, and that's the way it goes.
That's the way it goes. But this place, there's something wrong with it. There's something wrong with this place. There always has been something wrong with this place. You know, you can sit there and learn as much as you can learn about what the truth is, but no one else does it. No one else follows it. They always go the wrong direction. So there's either something fundamentally wrong with human beings, or they're just so easily manipulated that they're worthless, or they just don't give a fuck.
It's not necessarily that no one does. It's just not enough people to fight the mob.
Yeah, one kid did a pretty good job. It was a joke, YouTube. It was a joke.
I meant it. I meant what he said.
And fuck YouTube. Fuck YouTube. That high impact vlogs and flicks or whatever, both of his channels have gotten terminated on YouTube. He's not on YouTube anymore.
Yeah, I think I saw that from James Freeman's channel. He was like talking about it and saying how bullshit it was, and like linking to his Patreon and his other websites and stuff, saying go support him because he got
his stuff
taken down.
It's just, that's what I mean. Like, there's no winning because there's no way for any truth to get out there. You know, it's over.
All these people.
We're the last true podcast that's still up on YouTube because no one listens to us.
Yeah, there's probably a few other ones out there that have 30 subscribers as well.
Yeah,
you know, whatever. Not that we know what the fuck we're talking about, because we don't. But
we do.
At least we know that what's happening is garbage.
Shitstorm, Randy.
It's a fucking shitstorm.
Damn shit hurricane out there. There's 2 shit hurricanes right now on the coast.
All right, we ready to wrap this up now that everybody's depressed.
Yeah, my bad, guys. Sorry. You're all fucked unless you wake up. Later.